Hello guys, so I want to make a video about judging, and I'm not so much into freestyle as before, but I think I can have an interesting point of view regarding all the judging system and all that happened in Red Bull Street Style. I will emphasize on this competition because I have some things to say. So as it comes to Red Bull Street Style competition, I don't think that there was a lot of mistakes by judges, and as far I can remember, in a lot of big competition, there was always like at least one big mistake. When I say big mistake, I mean that all the viewers, or at least 80%, were agreeing the commentary of video in YouTube and everything that the decision could go rather in the other way. I want to focus on the panel judges that were chosen for Red Bull Street Style. I don't know who is choosing it, maybe World Freestyle Football Association. To me, in every competition, when you choose a panel of judges regarding their views on judging and their appreciation of freestyle, this choice will have the impact of what in the competition will be more regarded. I mean, in freestyle categories, if it's technique, attitude, musicality, creativity, style, and other things. Because of course, freestyle football is very subjective. We might have the same criteria. We can say that, for example, technique and creativity are very important, but every judge will have his own taste. This is normal, this is not a problem. It's just that when you choose a judging panel, it should be balanced. Or if it's not balanced, you have to assume that some criterias will be more important than others. And this was the case for Red Bull Street Style. I don't know if you noticed it. I will show you. I make a profile for every judges. I took 7 criterias. I could even take 9 or 10. For me, it's enough if I just take technique, style, attitude, creativity, musicality, all-round, and diversity. I could add more like control, flow, and difficulty. But difficulty for me is included in technique. In technique, I think it's the same thing or pretty much the same. Style and attitude is not the same. Style is more like cleanness of trick for me. Attitude is how you behave on stage, the charisma, the presence. Creativity, of course, it's easy to understand for everyone. Musicality is the same. All around is the fact that the freestyler will play all styles. I mean, lowers, sit downs, uppers, blocks, or even more style, because nowadays those styles are not so defined as before. Before it was lowers, sit downs, and uppers. Even blocks were not popular, and so you had to play those three. And today, even like if someone play heel joggers, what it is, it's not blocks, it's not lowers. So when you put this, so all around is more like the diversity of styles. And diversity this is not the same thing. Diversity for me, I could say repetitiveness, something like that, because it's the fact that someone will add new tricks on every round. So I took, for example, Sian, and I just made a profile. I just guessed how he will judge, but I'm not sure at all. It's more guessing according to his own style, his own view of freestyle, all the things I know about Sian. So it is an estimation, it's not precise. So to me, Sean is more focused on attitude. Creativity, musicality, and style, of course, are also important. Diversity and technique a bit less, and all-round not as much. When I put 1 for Sian, it doesn't mean it doesn't care about all-round, but it just means that regarding to other criteria, this won't be so important. Then I made the same for Kitty, Javi, Tobias, and Mihritz. Then after I made the total, and it just comes that the whole panel of judge, as naturally he will judge, will be more focused on technique. This is like by far the number 1 of criteria. Then style, creativity, diversity, and all around like in the 3rd place. Attitude and music, not so much. And I'm not here to criticize anything, just to point some facts, because if a competition is more oriented technique, style, or whatever, it's not a problem. In fact, it doesn't have to be balanced. everything. We've been saying this for a lot of years, that if there is, like in tennis, some competition that are more suitable for technique, another more for style, another competition where music is very important, creativity, this would be very, very good. But nowadays, of course, in our community, there are not so many competitions at very high level. There is Super Bowl and Red Bull Street Style every year. Sometimes there is a third big competition in the year, but it's changing. It's not every time the same. Before there was the European Football Freestyle Championship. I don't think this year it happened. I haven't done the same for Super Bowl, but I think the panel was also more oriented for technique. So for those two competitions, the same criteria were emphasized. Maybe it would be better if Super Bowl was more focused on technique, and Red Bull Street Style, maybe, as the name suggested, maybe more style. Back then, I remember in Red Bull Street Style, I don't remember which one, I think it was in Italy, there were 5 judges also, and every judge has a category, and the judges had to judge only according to this category, I mean, criteria. For example, there was Cannavaro, I think, in the panel, or Materazzi, I don't remember which player, and he had maybe control to judge. I don't know, I don't remember.
There are 5 judges, amongst them Fabio Cannavaro, Italian 2006 World Cup winner.
But this was bullshit because uh, Cannavaro or Materazzi were not so interested in freestyle, so that they know the subtlety between technique, control. They didn't know. They didn't give a fuck about anything. So this was strange, first of all, because of that. And the second thing, to me, is not good. This is not a good system. To let judges judge naturally, I mean, with this instinct, as they want, it's okay. We have to keep in mind that every judge has his own specific judging, and maybe it would be maybe nice if he explained how he judge, saying which criteria for him is more important, because this make the essence finally of the competition is the judges. And also the other things I wanted to state is the fact that the judges are judging according to the fame and the name. Not always, but it's something that it's important to say, because we are human. I was a judge also before, so I know what's happening in the mind. I will explain it a little bit. I think we sometimes fear that we take a wrong decision, and this is human. This is okay, but we just have to be aware of this as a judge, because then if something is very split, like very equal, I will take the example of Jesse against Jay in Red Bull Street Style in the first round. To me, it was a close battle, very, very tight. I think Jesse won because he has a name. Because if there is a close battle and you are a judge, you don't want to be mistaken. You are afraid of this if you have a reputation to defend, and maybe some other people will bully you afterwards the competition. So you don't want this. So for your own comfort, you will more likely vote to the favorite, because if you were mistaken and if you vote for the favorite, it's still okay. The worst thing is to be mistaken and vote for the other guy, not the favorite. And so this is like a secure thing, and it's very interesting to observe that Jesse won 4-1. I don't say Jesse didn't deserve. I rewatched the battle and it was very close. When I watched first as a spectator on my couch, I wanted to vote for Jeb, but maybe also because he's a fresh competitor. We haven't seen him in a big competition before, so maybe this played a role for me. But the only judge who voted for Jay, it was Sian, and this is very important and interesting to observe, because out of these 5 judges, Sian is the only one who is out of the community, and he doesn't give a fuck so much about it, and he doesn't have a reputation to defend. So he was the most free of all the judges. I mean, he had no fear to be mistaken, to not to vote for Jesse. Whereas Tobias, for example, is the opposite. He has 4 freestyle bronze, so he's very likely in the community. Sometimes it's very unconscious, it's not a conscious thing. He just wants to preserve our reputation. I'm not here to criticize, it's human, it's normal, but it's just important to have this in mind also. So that's it. I just wanted to say those things. And I will do a second video with Kalaputa because he will judge the French championships very soon. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about some things with him and about judging also, and to see his whole view and what's happening in his head when he's judging. And I think it can be very interesting to have a very detailed view on a judge. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this video and see you next time. Bye.